My soul needed a savage friend, a weird daredevil, but do you mend? My life became a dead end. Big C got me on the wrong track. Fought the cancer in a cul-de-sac. Lean says bite back. On life's jacked racetrack we react. Lacking the cool, but we lean and we loo.
안녕하세요. 저는 루입니다.
안녕하세요. 저는 리안입니다.
Check my shirt out.
Oh, I was going to wear a groovy shirt that I got, which has got a frog sitting under a toadstool playing a guitar. But today was a grey day because I got covered in grey paint. So.
We must be a grey day for both of us because both of us are wearing grey stuff. So
yeah.
Normally I wear colour, but today I just felt like wearing.
I've been wearing my sunflower girl t-shirt for the last 2 days, but I got it covered in paint, so I'm going to have to try and get the paint out of it.
This is so typical of you.
I know. I was like, why did I wear it to paint? I knew I was going to paint. Why did I? Oh, that's just what I do. Okay, so we are going to be watching DPR Ian's brand new release, which is called Saint, which was released only a few days ago. I think 3 days or 4 days ago, to be exact.
Mm-hmm.
Are you excited?
I'm excited. I probably it's going to be packed with deep meaning. So let's see what
probably.
It's like.
So we're going to concentrate really hard.
And I missed half of it. But...
This is one we both have to concentrate because I ain't seen this.
No, you haven't. You can't help me.
For once. I know. Okay, you ready?
Ready.
We'll just get into it.
You've been lied to.
Ooh.
Ooh. Sexy voice.
You're a fool for believing it. What promises did it make you?
That voice is giving me the chills.
Me too.
Power. Or perhaps a way out.
It's very Seth from Star Wars.
Oh, I love him.
I'm getting literal goosebumps.
I am too.
Oh, it gave me the heebie-jeebies, but in a good way. I just had to have a more. Do you know what it's giving me? Do you ever watch Legend when you were younger? The Tom Cruise film where she gets stole by the devil. It feels like Sith from Star Wars meets Legend.
I love it so much.
And I was getting the goosebumps, like, oh, right, okay, ready.
Yeah.
I'm calmer now. I'm getting like, oh. It's about Jon Snow coming in there.
I love the drama he brings to his MVs. It's incredible.
This is a little bit dark, Crystal, but it's a sword.
Feeling out my thoughts of regret. Will I ever let you go? Will I ever let you go? I thought everything you left in me. Didn't know you cried was ecstasy. And I am no saint. And I am no saint.
Please make this a movie. Stop there before going to the next bit. I swear to God, this feels like all my favourite movies rolled into one. Willow, Legend, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings.
You were going in time with the music before and I was laughing.
I didn't even notice until there the now. It was all shaking.
I thought that you'd bumped something on your desk.
But no, my washing machine was shaking my entire desk.
It's so funny.
I I'm leaving this in.
Leaving it was hilarious. I wanted to say in this, like, look at the time. Like, it's 2:21 out of 3:59, and like he hasn't, like, there's elements of the song in there, but he hasn't had an actual song. It's more like a dramatic reenactment, and I love the way that he approaches music non-traditionally.
Same. Like, this is giving me goosebumps. This just feels like an epic trailer for a movie that I want to see, and I'm really sad knowing this is not a movie.
And like, okay, so with reference to the lyrics, what I'm getting is it's like talking about like a past relationship so far, and he's saying he was no saint, and then here he says, I am a saint, but then it had that like
The voice,
shifty thing.
that
Like
was
like
supposed to be like an impending power trying to take over him. That was like another force. That's why it went all
Yeah.
weird. Their voice was inside his head.
yeah. So I think it's like lying to yourself kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
like you've got to admit your mistakes in past relationships to move forward. Because he was like, I'm not a saint, and then this voice was like, I am a saint. It's like that, like gaslighting yourself into believing you're something that you're not kind of thing, I think. I might be wrong, but that's what I'm getting from it so far.
I was at first thinking it might be relationship, and then I started to think, what if he means that it's like having the two voices inside you? There's one side that leaves so much negativity inside you and leaves behind scars, and then there's another side of you that tries to break away from that, and it's more like it's not about another person. It's about like having an illness that, like, you know what I mean? Because I know he writes a lot about having more than one personality. So I started to wonder if it was to do with like his DID.
It could be. I agree with you on that. I also, though, however, feel like even whether it's in a relationship or out of a relationship, we can be destructive to ourselves in the sense that I've been with partners in the past where they convince themselves that they're a saint, but they're really not a saint, you know, and they justify every kind of like behavior they can. And make themselves, they're never at fault. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So I feel like that we have a part of that element in ourselves.
Do you know what I always find interesting with DPR, Ian? He always paints himself as the dark villain in the story, but as it unfolds, he's not actually the villain in it. When you like the storylines, he's done that in a few videos. On first glance, you're like, oh, he's the villain in this. Like he's here with the dark makeup and the hood, but it seems like he might not be the villain in this, just like all his other ones.
Well, also, and I think sometimes it's good to embrace the darkness, is to admit your faults and admit where you've gone wrong and where you can change and where you can like fix yourself. And you can see that I just had therapy with my cancer. My therapist talking right now. But yeah, you kind of like you can like work with your bad and good parts of yourself and try and like make the most of yourself, you know. So
Netflix, please cast this man in a movie and use this, because this is ruining my life knowing that this is only an MV.
It's ending in like less than like just over a minute.
No,
so.
let's drag it out. Let's not watch the end. We can't cope. Okay, ready?
Ready.
I'm not safe. I'm not I'm not I'm not I'm not I'm a saint. I'm a saint. I'm a saint.
See, that again makes me feel like it's that in a dialogue conversation people have is like, especially if there's like that element of you can go over into a narcissistic side, like I'm a saint, I'm perfect, I'm this, and that it's like the way he said it. Like,
See, to me, it doesn't give that at all. To me, it gives a broken person realizing that they are not the villain that everyone had made them believe they are, that they actually are a good person. That's what I got from it. I'm
see,
not as
so you and
bad.
I are the opposites.
Yeah.
So, okay, guys, tell us who you think is right. I say that it's somebody who looks at a past relationship and acknowledges their mistakes and says, "No, I'm not the saint that."
Because you're
like, I
taking it as a
gaslight myself into."
relationship, but I'm taking it as it's
Because
an
of what he said
inner
in the beginning.
Yeah, but I'm taking that as two parts of his
Yeah,
personality
so that's what you
and
take.
having an effect. That's why at the end he's thinking, I'm not this bad person. I am good. See, you're taking it because it's a relationship. I'm taking it as an inner
Yeah.
battle between these two personalities.
So, guys, tell us what you guys think, because that's how we're taking it.
Yeah.
We've got two
And
opposite
also, if I start a petition for Netflix, do you think we could get enough signatures to get them to, cast him and ask him to write a movie and
Just
make my year?
just write a book, Lean, and then cast him as an actor in your next
That had
series.
everything. It had Star Trek, Star Wars, Legend, Lord of the Rings, freaking She-Ra. It had the Dark Crystal. That had everything.
Man.
It also had, what's that one where the guy with the hood and he's like in like the sort of Egyptian type era.
Like
and
June? No.
that what's his name? It's like an Egyptian thing where he wears a hood and jumps around rooftops.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking. The assassin one.
Aye. See, that had it all. And it also had like the wee dark magic sorcery of like totally my thing. I'm
Totally
kind of
your
a
thing.
sucker for those things.
I know the envy was good, and I like the club feel to it as well. I wish that
the
it was
dancing
longer.
That's
I-
totally a dance anthem. That could go in a club.
I wish that it was a like I'm assuming the MV is going to be different to the actual song itself on Spotify, but I need to then listen to that. But I feel like I needed more like meaty music in that, because he had the really good vibe going there.
See, that's the kind of music that our entire 20s was filled with. They were the club anthems that made it to albums and we would listen to while cruising up and down the same street. He's back and forward past the same shops for like 5 hours of an evening. I don't know if that's a global thing or a Scottish thing, but that's what you do in your 20s. Your friend gets a car and you drive the same 2-mile strip. You pass other teenagers doing the same thing. You wave and you're all blaring your dance music. And then you meet in the car park behind Argos and you all hang out the window and you'll be like, yeah, been driving up and down the same 2 miles for the last 2 hours, totally chilling. Is this a Scottish thing or is this an everybody thing?
I think it's more of a Scottish thing because my town, I was in a city, so it was too big for us to do.
Right, what you were saying. Sorry, we were rudely interrupting. My child cut his toe and it was
so we
blood.
had to stop and had to have a look. No, I was saying I think that like that was more of a Scottish thing because like I was in a bigger city, so we couldn't do that. We couldn't drive up and down the same road, but we did definitely go to we would have our weekend going to a club, songs that we used.
Do you know how sad it was, right? That it wasn't just us, it was all teenagers did this. There was a garage at one end of the town and there's a roundabout at the other, and it was the done thing to turn around in the garage. And literally every single one. But you had to space out so you weren't all waiting to turn in at the garage. So you would pass each other at intervals. Somebody would be going that way, somebody would be going that, but we would all be staggered so we weren't all using the roundabout at the same time.
That's funny.
And then many people were going up and down and up and down. They were like, car park, Argos. And then you'd go in there, there'd be the wee boy cruiser who would open the back of his car and he'd have the big massive speakers and the subwoofer, and everybody would be parked in like a little semicircle while he blasted the dance tunes. That was literally teenagers and 20-somethings in Scotland. I don't think they even do that now because the police started moving you on. And But that was like my entire 20s.
They do that in my main street. I live just off the main street in Ogden, which is a smaller town in Utah, and they do that. And then now, like, I know exactly. The other day, I was at the chicken burger place, Chick-fil-A, and I pulled up right next to a whole bunch of them doing that. Like, they had their subwoofers.
I never understood the point of it. See, I was always a passenger, and my friend would be like, "Let's go for a drive," and I'd be like, "Oh, let's go for a drive." To the country roads. No, and then we would do this for hours, and I'd be like, Amy, like, what is the point of this? Like, it's not like we stop for very long to talk to any of these other people. We just keep driving by them, like, hi. And then we would stop for like 10 minutes, and I'd be like, yeah, finally some interaction, some socializing. And then she'd be like, let's get back in the car. And I'm like, we just used to drive up and down, like. I'm not even joking. She'd pick me up from my house at like 5 p.m. and drop me off at 10 p.m. and that's all we had done.
So we had my culture was the coffee shop culture because we had outdoor cafes everywhere. So people would sit down and it would bore the hell out of me. All my friends would sit down at a coffee shop and just hang there like groups of gangs of kids for hours. My sister was a pro. She would get there at like 9 a.m. and at 11 o'clock at night she'd be leaving when the coffee shop closed.
Oh, no.
And I was like, I can't do that. So.
Now you know why Lean was such a party animal, because while her friends were driving up and down, Lean was like, screw you all, I'm going to the nightclub. See ya.
See ya. Yeah. I used to be
tune would definitely be in there. This, without any changes to this song, this, like, just as it is, would be 100% a cruising or Room at the Top song.
Yeah.
Room at the Top was like our biggest nightclub.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. It's definitely a really cool cruising or nightclub song. We love that. I'm going to listen to it on Spotify and see if he's changed it or altered it in any way for the actual, like, not the MV. But that MV was so cool, and it gave us both goosebumps. It was really cool.
You know I'm going to watch that MV like 500 million times. And I'm going to be like, I still don't know the song.
We can put it on the la 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 like list.
I can tell you every part of that MV.
I think it should go on the la 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 la. I can't speak to it. The la 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 like list. So
maybe we should have a playlist called Epic MVs, because there's another DPR Ian one that I watch for the MV. Rather, like, I like the song, but I don't love the song.
Yeah,
but the MV is so like.
Okay, you're gonna have to do that now. Go
Epic MVs, because that. Epic MVs at Netflix should make it. I'm going to email this to Netflix just so they know that the passion is here. That this should be a movie, and I'm probably not alone.
Sounds like a plan, Stan.
And my dog has farted. I'm trying not to gag.
That is the worst.
So small. It's an entire room. My eyes are what? Oh my God.
Shake the curtains. Get rid of this now.
Okay, my eyes are streaming. Is that fun?
What did you feed your dog?
Just the regular dog food that you get. Oh my God, my eyes are literally running. Oh my God, Louise, you got to see me cry.
We finally got Lean to cry. Yeah.
Lean is weeping.
That's the first time I've ever seen it.
Like,
wow. Second time. Louder than bombs. We're never going to forget that.
Hey, the tears never came out my eyes for louder. They just
they did.
Just
you wiped your cheek.
There.
You wiped your cheek. Don't deny it.
Oh my God. Right, well, now I'm going to have to wipe my entire face. How can a dog be that toxic? Oh my God, it's not. This is bad.
You're making me gag, and I'm not even there.
Next video, you'll see Lena has a nice mattified face, which has probably got no makeup on it because I've had to go wash it.
You made me gag.
I'm not gagging, I'm just crying.
I'm gagging. Oh.
Okay.
Well, that was us. We're going to let Lean escape from her chair for 5 seconds.
Yeah, 10 minutes.
Catch you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye. You did a good job, Leanie.
Please don't.
Hey, fan bears.
so fluffy.
What
so
is
cute.
actually wrong
ready?
with you? You're
Dance
such a
dance.
freak.
Dance dance.
System failure.
Lean, 사랑해.
Ew.